Opposition party All People's Congress says it is considering legal action over Parliament's adoption of the proportional representation system.
We reject and condemn the purported passage of the Constitution Amendment Bill 2025 in its entirety.
National Emergency Medical Service CEO speaks on emergency response services nationwide.
The service is not based on the amount of ambulances we have, but the ability for us to respond.
Hello and welcome from wherever you're joining me tonight. I am Edema Conte for Studio News. The scale of destruction at Aberdeen Creek is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. What was once a substantial mangrove wetland structures along the creek with the hope of making a change. My colleague George Bartolo Powell was with them and filed in the report with pictures by Joseph Conte.
At Crabtown, unfinished structures along Aberdeen Creek are being brought down.
What you are seeing currently in the background is the demolition of unfinished buildings here at Aberdeen Creek. This exercise is organized by the National Protected Area Authority, wherein they want to ensure safety for people living in this community.
The operation is part of a wider enforcement drive by the National Protected Area Authority as authorities seek to prevent further construction within environmentally sensitive areas. NPAA Executive
the ecosystem here and safe and made this place a defense. For the city. That defense have been removed by encroacher. As you can see, there are pillars, foundations to the sea. Our role as an institution is to stop that development. So what we've decided during our deliberation and engagement with the community is to start from the back and move forward. We are going to move and move and move and move until hopefully we restore this place and it become green again and it become a place me and you can see and it will start protecting Freetown as it's usually doing. I mean, the resources we are supposed to be using to plant more trees, to plant more mangroves, to protect more areas in Sierra Leone, we are using that resources now to demolish something that should have never been here. That's one effect. Two, my role is to protect the ecosystem so the ecosystem in return can protect me. What is happening if this place remains like this? The effect, my kids, your kid, and everybody's kid, and ourselves will be affected. So what we are doing right now is to stop all construction, start restoring, and then create a co-management system wherein the Aberdeen community, the real estate developers, or the hotel owners, and the government of Australia can co-manage this ecosystem for everybody benefit.
One community member appealed to the government to reconsider the demolition exercise.
Because we don't engage the ED, for those able to understand we safe, we realize say we community don't encroach. And they will not go hide them from there. They make easy say all the people will be able to talk to them, no fet, no alala, because of peace we want. You don't understand. The only thing the big papa government will not say yes, we don't do bad, we don't go inside the creek. You don't understand. But then we find a demarcation where we community, they hand over Givina, they say now for stop. So we community back don't please now say from that school to Serapam, that cut off, they didn't give cut off day. That's it. From there now, we go able to maintain and now, we not go allow nobody for go beyond that demarcation day. So this at the BT side and day, you can all glad as community, yeah, we don't able to touch no outside person they sleep. So glad for that. They who they beg no more.
The authorities say the exercise will continue as they seek to restore control over the creek. George Batilu Powell, AYV News, Freetown.
Hey, muscle! Old soldier, never die! Old soldier!
President Julius Maada Bio says Sierra Leone now has 104 ambulances serving all 16 districts through the National Emergency Medical Service. But the effectiveness of an ambulance network is measured not only by its fleet size, but by where vehicles are positioned, how quickly calls are assessed, and whether the right patient reaches appropriate care in time. NEM says dispatch decisions are based on the urgency and of each emergency. Let's now join our health reporter for details with pictures by Abubakar Kagbo.
President Bio says NEMS now operates 104 ambulances nationwide. The Ministry of Health describes the service as a referral system built around ambulances, trained paramedics, drivers, and an operations center. But the number of vehicles alone does not establish how effectively the network is performing. A 2025 government procurement notice called for a central dashboard to integrate call center operations, vehicle tracking, and fleet monitoring, an indication of the importance of real-time data in managing the service.
And it's not when you talk about, for example, number of ambulances, I want you to put into context what you call a service. We don't look at an individual ambulance per location. We look at the service that we provide, because these ambulances can have breakdowns, they can have issues, but the fact that we can provide a service to that particular district, to the particular region or the entire country, I mean, should be what we want to project. That's why, even though the number is what we want to talk about, was what the president said, but we also want to push, also want to project the service that we offer. The service is not based on the amount of ambulances we have, but the ability for us to respond when the need arises. Because what we do is we provide pre-hospital care. Pick the patient, ensure the patient is stable, move the patient to the receiving facility. And before the patient gets to the receiving facility, that facility is ready to receive the patient.
NEM says an ambulance is assigned based on the circumstances of each call, rather than simply sending a vehicle nearest to a patient.
For that ambulance to be dispatched, we have to ensure that the call that you make is triaged. What do I mean by that? If you call me and tell me that, call center, I have a case, a patient with a headache, does it meet the criteria to make a referral? Headache alone does not singularly meet the criteria for referral. But if you tell me I have a pregnant woman that is due for labor and is bleeding, I want you to follow the story, and it's also having seizures, it meets the criteria, because we use what you call a color-coded triage system. If it's green, the ambulance doesn't move. Headache, that's a green. We can advise you drink a cup of cold water or take some paracetamol. But if you're pregnant and you are bleeding and you're having seizures, the triage system moves from green to yellow and to red. And the sooner it moves to red, the ambulance has been dispatched.
The CEO says pregnant women and children can access the ambulance service without charge.
All pregnant women, all pediatric cases less than 5 years, the service is free. If you do have a concern, if you have a complaint of someone collecting or extorting money, please don't be quiet about it, because we provide the service, we provide the fuel through the government of Sierra Leone and its partners, we provide the maintenance to the Sierra Leone government and its partners, through the Ministry of Health. We provide the incentives for each and every staff. So they are not expected to extort money for patients. The few exceptions are, let me add another group of people in there. Any road traffic accident within 24 hours, the service is free. Beyond 24 hours and all the other exceptions, they have to pay for the service.
Previous NEMS records also show that availability has not always matched the size of the fleet. In August 2023, for example, 89 of 101 listed ambulances were operational, about 88%. As the government highlights the current 104 ambulance fleet, the critical test remains response time, operational availability, and whether patients across all 16 districts can reach appropriate care when emergencies occur. Edima Conte, AYV News, Freetown.
Still on health, the Bo Regional Hospital mortuary has given a 3-month closure notice for maintenance, expansion and upgrading, introducing a temporary arrangement that limits mortuary-related services during the estimated period. However, the facility only receives the remains of those who die while on medical treatment at the hospital for a maximum 24-hour pickup period during the estimated 3-month closure. Our reporter, Emmanuel Amarasaido, now reports.
For years, the Bo Regional Hospital mortuary has been more than just a place where families entrust the remains of their loved ones. For many grieving families, it has provided time to mourn, gather relatives, mobilize resources, and to prepare for a final dignified farewell. But that breathing space has temporarily narrowed. The mortuary has closed its doors for maintenance, expansion, and upgrading, meaning families will have to make alternative arrangements, as the facility only receives the remains of those who die while on medical treatment at the hospital for a maximum 24-hour pickup period during the estimated 3-month closure. The management estimates that the rehabilitation will run from August through October to improve the mortuary's facility, strengthen service delivery, and create an environment that is safer, more efficient, and more dignified for bereaved families, among others.
Well, this na a good thing for the district. Now a good thing. Look tight. Okay, and but people that they come and pass and take them body and fit on for let them do some post-mortem. Okay, so the time where they take, the challenge where they take, where the people they go through for move it on, that one for solve. So the upgrade generally happen. They go for expand the whole mortuary. They go for create different rooms them for let them they do other services, like for do post-mortem. So and after that also the mortuary get for the keep now more body. Then if we come to electrification, other things, then it get for be more decent now to provide for respond to the need we the region get. So now an opportunity for actually decentralize most of the services. Instead of you go free turn now, everything get for the happen here. Okay, even the consultant and pathology they go for the can do the service. So and the quorum get get enough quorum for keep the body till to the time where the pathology they come for can do the procedure. This particular activity project work here so we don't need DBN now for the past 3 to 5 years. Okay, for let they can upgrade the facility. Now that you don't come, I want to let people they exercise patience for say the work happen. We will also try very hard for say the other side we can be ready for keep the body for 24 hours. We will always be for keep that body for 24 hours. So let them be what did happen, yes. For the time being, they're not going for easy place, but now a good thing we get for happen. At the end of the day, then second for appreciate the new mortuary we get for where the region get forget.
For funeral services requiring more than 24 hours, the hospital has advised the public to use the Columbia Davis Memorial Funeral Parlor along the Bo Koribundo Highway, according to the mortuary in charge, Emmanuel Moinina. The facility is more than just a place where bodies are kept. It is part of the healthcare system's response to death and a critical space for families seeking dignity at the end of a loved one's life.
The mortuary will be the run, they don't be there for long. And they will see development that take place every hour, every minute, every second. So the southern region are too big and the mortuary too tight. in case we get influx of especially the accident cases, and we will not get better space. Because at times, there are times for the day, normal deaths we can get now, then 5, 6 for the day, which is too much. The quorum that we will work with, they're not really outdated. So we understand, say, at the end of the day, they go for new quorums and extension, go forbid, the working space, even office spaces, they go for day. Because we actually go want the facilities that we a modernized mortuary for get, not we will get them. And then when we start operations, it will be okay. So people then go for feeling small because they don't used to win now and they're not going for left, but let them be away.
For a financially challenged, grieving, arranging transportation, storage, and funeral logistics out of the government-owned facility can add another layer of pressure to an already emotional experience. However, while the doors of the facility remain temporarily closed, the expectation is that when they reopen, they will serve grieving families better than before. Emmanuel Amara Saidu, reporting from Bo.
Well, away from that, the National Tourist Board, operating under the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, has issued a strong public notice ordering Goladugu tours to immediately halt the promotion, advertising and sale of unauthorized tour packages for the upcoming second edition of the One Nation Reggae Festival. Authorities stressed that the ministry holds the exclusive right to the flagship event, warning that any unauthorized commercial representation creates a false impression of partnership or endorsement. The board has made it clear that failure to comply with the directive will result in immediate legal action under the laws of Sierra Leone. Well, in another story, Sierra Leone's main opposition, the All People's Congress, says it is considering legal action over Parliament's adoption of the proportional representation system. The party maintains that its MPs withdrew from proceedings because they disputed the legality of the voting process and the Speaker's interpretation of the constitutional requirement. Mohamed Bakar Kamara reports with visuals by Daniel Fobi.
The APC says the dispute over proportional representation is now a constitutional question, not merely a disagreement between the governing SNDP and the opposition. In a statement delivered by the party's National Secretary General, the APC defended its decision to leave Parliament, arguing that remaining will have given legitimacy to a process it considers unlawful. The party says it intends to pursue the matter through the courts, where the questions over the interpretation and application of the constitutional provisions can be tested against the law.
We reject and condemn the purported passage of the Constitution Amendment Bill 2025 in its entirety. It is a legislative heist, constitutional banditry, and legally void. 2. We pursue legal redress. The APC is proceeding immediately to the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone to challenge this unlawful ruling, enforce Section 108, and uphold the supremacy of the Constitution.
But the controversy also exposes a wider question about parliamentary strategy, whether withdrawing from a disputed vote strengthens an opposition challenge or removes an opportunity to contest the legislation from inside the chamber.
This impasse in Parliament on the illegal actions set a it paves the way for future abuses, including rumors of a bill to extend the president's term from 5 to 7 years, which could now also pass illegally by a simple majority. What occurred in Parliament is illegal, unconstitutional, and a direct assault on Sierra Leone's democratic foundation. It destroys the 2/3 majority safeguard designed to prevent ruling parties from unilaterally rewriting the Constitution. It renders the Constitution vulnerable to partisan manipulation ahead of critical elections. It also undermines parliamentary integrity and erodes trust in state institutions witnessed by the international community. It violates the core principles of sovereignty and constitutionalism. Sovereignty resides in the people and not in Parliament, the Speaker, or the SLPP government.
The governing majority is expected to defend the parliamentary process, while the courts will have the final word on any properly constituted constitutional challenge. For now, the disagreement has moved beyond Parliament and towards a possible legal confrontation. The central issue is no longer simply who supported or who opposed proportional representation, but whether the procedure used to adopt it complied with Sierra Leone's constitutional framework. That is a question, ultimately for the courts to determine. Mohamed Bakar Kamara, AYV News.
This is Primetime News on AYV TV and radio. Stay tuned for more stories after the break.
Do you know you can transfer money, buy airtime, and pay all your utility bills in just a minute? You can have access to your account anytime, anywhere. Welcome to the world of fast and easy. GT Wall. With the GT Wall, you can transfer money from one GT Co account to another, pay utility bills, get account statements, get airtime, and check your balance. With GT Wall, you can buy Exa anytime, anywhere. You can go to App Store or Play Store on your iPhone and Android devices, download the app, and enjoy. GT Co. Wouldn't you rather bank with us?
Welcome back. I am Edima Conte and this is AOIV's Primetime News. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's take more stories. Young people from across Sierra Leone are being given another platform to showcase their intellectual abilities, creativity, and leadership skills as the Swad by Dawn national debate and essay writing competition gets underway in Freetown. Here is an excerpt from the kickoff of this event.
This competition is one step towards building the confidence. So as we open the SWAT by the National Debate and Essay Writing Competition 2026, let us make a commitment not only to producing excellent debaters, but to nurturing thoughtful citizens, courageous leaders, and responsible patriots. Let us build a generation that does not run away from difficult questions, but has the courage to ask them. A generation that does not wait for opportunities, but creates them. A generation that understands that education is not simply a pathway to employment. Education is a pathway to empowerment. And let us build a Sierra Leone where young people can look at the future and say, there is a place for my talent. There is a place for my voice. There is a place for my ideas, and there's a place for me in building my nation. To the organizers, universities, judges, sponsors, lecturers, and everyone who has contributed to making this event possible, thank you for believing in this vision. To the contestants, prepare, speak boldly, listen carefully, and give us something to think about. And to my fellow Sierra Leoneans, especially our young people, your voice matters.
Personalities, respected academics, esteemed debaters. If you're going to debate, just put your hand up, let me see. Debaters. Oh, there are less than 20 people I'm seeing. Okay. esteemed debaters and brilliant young minds gathered here today, judges and hosts. I am not representing IPAM here. I am just a guest speaker as a meaningful Sierra Leonean who wish well. And of course, it's a very busy schedule on a Friday. This is the day where everybody's out getting ready for the weekend. But we've been called here by a distinguished lady who has not only hadn't concentrated on her beauty, but has also thought that education is so important and has done everything she could to bring young people together. In fact, that was one peculiar thing that happened, because I can still remember vividly when they were in the house. Isho and Yabom, Waterloo Titi and all of them, they said they were going to do particular things, and today they are getting it done. Can we put our hands together for this brilliant team? Waterloo Titi is now running a very powerful outfit where you can get the best food. Yabom continues to dance and make us laugh. Isho continues to be that public figure that brings young people together. And then Swat by Dawn is moving Sierra Leone development through education and young people. When Professor Njai stepped on here, the first thing he said was something that I've read about a couple of times in my life. And there was this philosopher that said, out of relative obscurity, we all have a role to play in society. That was
Now, Sierra Leonean entrepreneur Komwabai Dumbuya has been recognized among the Commonwealth's 100 young leaders for his work in climate action, agriculture, and rural development. Dumbuya, founder and CEO of One World Development Sierra Leone Limited, received the Queen Elizabeth II Key Commonwealth Trust 100 Young Leaders Award at the residence of the British High Commissioner to Sierra Leone at Hill Station on Thursday. The award, presented on behalf of the Trust, recognizes 100 young people selected from thousands of applicants for their contribution to communities and wider society. Dumbuya was honored for his work in Karine District, where One World Development is using climate-smart cashew agroforestry to restore degraded land and create rural livelihoods. The British High Commission says his work reflects key Commonwealth priorities, including climate resilience, entrepreneurship, inclusive growth, and youth leadership. The recognition puts Dumbuya among a group of young Commonwealth leaders whose work is focused on turning
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes out waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make them from with local foods them and nutritious, and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, a healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
Every day, our nation faces questions that demand answers. What is happening in Sierra Leone? What is the context? Who is being heard and who is being ignored? What does it mean for you, your family, and for the future of Sierra Leone? Behind the headlines are the real stories of the everyday people. Some are being heard, others are being ignored. Because a nation deserves to know more than just the headlines. This is where we ask the tough questions and give analysis that liberate. Join us on State of the Nation on AYV across all our platforms. With me, Omaru Fofana.
Here's how to load your AfriMoney Visa card. Dial *161 *5 *4#. Press 2. Enter account ID on the back of your Visa card. Enter the last 4 digits on the card. Enter the amount. Enter your AfriMoney PIN. Please securely save your PIN to prevent unauthorized transactions from your card. For more information, call 088-326-326. AfriMoney prepaid Visa card. Safe, simple, accepted everywhere.
Freedom is here now, Saratel is here now. 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 Freedom, freedom, freedom for choose. Freedom, freedom, freedom for use. Freedom, freedom, freedom for choose. Freedom, freedom, freedom for you.
Freedom for enjoy your own. They don't get with the freedom for enjoy for no. Wow, aye. They don't get with the freedom. We good networks and now freedom. Free communication and freedom. So I tell we country now freedom, yeah.
Your chance don't come. Yes, I say your chance don't come for save and win big. A call to business savings and loans, where they can call ACTB Bank. Don't bring plan the ACTB Save and Win Babala promotion, where they start from July 14, 2026, so to January 31st next year, 2027.
All you get for do now for just save 10,000 euros every month and qualify for the monthly raffle draw. Also, you will get the chance for refined prize them like microwave, DSTV sets, mobile phone, freezer, plasma television, gas cooker, and plenty other things then.
And not tap though. If you grow your savings to 60,000 by December 31st this year, you will qualify for take part inside the grand draw. Usai, you will start the chance for drive away with the grand prize, with a one brand new CS55 Plus Jeep. With no one day drive it. Yes, you hear me. One brand new CS55